Hello! I'm Lydia Charlatan, a junior at the Miami Valley High School, and today I'm going to be teaching you what I learned from Fromm Class. Now you might be asking yourself, Lydia, what is a Fromm? Well, I will tell you, viewer. Fromm, or more accurately, Erich Fromm, is an author. And we've been studying his books and ideals in this Fromm class. So, besides just learning that Erich Fromm was a German Jew, which is very inspirational on its own, we've talked a lot about his ideals and thoughts. For example, we talked about what he thinks about love. While I was single, I found it very hard to relate to things about love. It took me a while to realize that love was not just romantic relationships. Crazy, right? And now that I'm actually in a relationship, I found that I'm searching for some way to articulate what I'm supposed to feel and what I do feel while in a relationship. Fromm believes that there are two ways to love. I mean, who even thinks of that? These two types of love are being and having. Being in love is gentle, and by caring for someone and truly listening to them and what they need, you can be in love with someone. Having love, however, is wanting to own the other person and own their love. Now, this can apply to any relationship. Family relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, even relationships with your teacher or classmates or workmates. Fromm is saying that in order to be in love with someone, you have to care for them and nurture them instead of owning them. Another thing that Erich Fromm believes, drumroll please, is that it is okay to be selfish. What? I know, right? We are taught in this culture that it is not okay to be selfish, and that other people always have to come before us and what we want and what we need. Also, as you literally just learned, if you've been paying attention, that in order to be in love, you have to care for the person and listen to that person. So how can you be in love but still be selfish? Well, there's a very thin line. Between being confident and being cocky. Now, don't be selfish is basically saying that we should kowtow to. Shout out to my English teacher, Mr. Lopez, for his vocab quizzes. Authority, and be submissive towards authority, and not focus on what we need in our wishes, but instead focus on what the authority needs. And just because you go for what you want and go for what you need, that doesn't make you cocky. And that's exactly what Erich Fromm thinks. What are the odds, right? It's crazy. It's almost like I'm in a class about him. The people in this class have had a lot of discussions about how we relate to other people and how we relate to things. We talked about how we relate to things like movement, ethics, pain, family, and that last one, family, really caught my attention. And since I am a very nosy person, I started to pay attention to my friends and how they relate to their families. Fromm says that bad love isn't life-giving, meaning that if you don't give life to the other person in the relationship and let them prosper, it's bad love. Unfortunately, I see this a lot in families, and I hadn't really been able to articulate this before this class. And I've noticed that a lot of my friends have some ethically questionable love and ethically questionable ways of relating to their family. Not to call them out or anything, I'm not naming names, and I have loads and loads and loads of friends, so whether it's extended family or family that they see every day, I just find it really interesting to try and figure out how my friends relate to their family and how their families relate to them. And of course, I relate to my family perfectly because I'm an angel child and I've never done anything wrong ever. Okay, so that might not be true, but I am the favorite child. So Fromm seems to be obsessed with the idea of saying F you to conventional ideas. Like that idea that it's okay to be selfish. He also compared having a persona to an actor putting on a mask. So it's not really you, it's just a mask, it's just a facade. He also says that being able to accept death is a part of life. Our culture is such a death culture. So the fact that he says that at some point in your life you're going to have to accept death, that's so unconventional. He also says that humans don't judge other people based off of biology. Their standards for people aren't based off of how people do act and can act. It's based off of how people should act. How their tiny little ego thinks people should act. In conclusion, Erich Fromm is a really cool dude, very much worth checking out if you don't know him already. Peace.